All right, back here on the main card. Of course, still tuned into the main card. South Africa's number one. I want to say South Africa's number one wrestling show, but I'm trying to be humble. But I think thing is, I'm kind of coming to the realization, right? Yes, it is South Africa's number one radio show, but it's not South Africa's number one radio show. It's South Africa's number one wrestling radio show, simply because it is South Africa's only wrestling radio show, and it's South Africa's first wrestling radio show. So you have to, just have to take that into consideration before I call it South Africa's. Well, it is South Africa's number one, wrestling radio show because it's South Africa's only wrestling radio show. That's it. Had to try that. Had to try and confuse the enemy a little bit. Yes. All right. So the next talking point that we're going to be going over to right now. Right now it's all about Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar. And from what I read about this quote-unquote match was that it was an idea within the WWE creative, and what has seemed to happen is the fact that now, the reports I saw, they said that after Survivor Series, Vince McMahon decided that, okay, you know what? This is it's not happening anymore. We're not doing this anymore. We're just gonna move in another direction. We're not doing this anymore. Which after that, it's prompted, I see it online even with Finn Balor's tweets where he's in his tweets he's saying that he's trying to get over, and apparently the argument for should I say apparently? Let me say allegedly. Allegedly, the argument for Finn Balor's match against Brock Lesnar being cancelled, in the sense that by it's not happening, is the fact that Finn Balor's not over. Now, upon listening to a few, critics, and upon also, reading a few things, maybe it's just me, but I'm literally of the opinion that a lot of people are buying into this. And I think a lot of people are falling right into it. And there's a reason why I say that. And there's a reason why I say that a lot of people are buying into this. A lot of people are falling into it. And I want to explain why. From my perspective. Just my perspective, But before I do that, I just want to, some of the things that I've heard, I just want to point out some of the things that I've seen and I've heard about, particularly Finn Balor. Because I think that's what the focus is right now. Number one, people are saying that, Finn's trying to get over in his tweets. Okay, I get that. Even changing his name on Twitter to Finn Forever, and then capitalizing the O, the V, the E, and the R in Forever. And his tweets in the past number of weeks have been about, trying to get over, Sure. And then, what else? Oh yeah, people also pointed out that he got quote-unquote squashed by Kane. And, you can hear that I'm kind of winded. Because people are buying into it. They're just buying into this so much. They're just falling into this so much. And I think I'm not even going to criticize the WWE in this. I think I'm just going to criticize the critics. If there's ever such a thing. Or just point out what, like I was saying, what critics might be missing. One of my favorite scenes of all time that I've seen in a WWE ring was Roman Reigns this year after WrestleMania, the night after WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw, coming out and being booed by the whole WWE universe who was present in the arena. And in him being booed, right, what Roman did was each time he tried to talk, they booed him louder, right? It was literally I don't know how long he was there for, but, one would be tempted to say almost 10 minutes of him just literally being booed and being cussed out, being told he sucks. But there was a certain point within that, in that moment where he was there in the ring, where he pointed to his hand, and then he just he held out his hand and just kept pointing to it, because he had the people in the palm of his hand. That's why he was alluding to, and that's what he was saying. And I kind of took a step back and I just checked. I was like, people are booing Roman Reigns, and they're booing him very loud. But he says he has them in the palm of his hand. And then it made me remember a few things. This thing of news from the WWE, from backstage in the WWE being leaked, has been happening for quite a long time now. For a few years, in fact. Maybe, to me it occurred, maybe they might have found the plug. I'm not sure. I was always assuming. But what I noticed is that the WWE has a tendency of doing this from time to time. Of just giving people something, and then people just bite onto it. Nah? What I think is happening here is that people are just literally going into this entire thing of, oh, Vince McMahon doesn't think Finn Balor's over. I had the firm belief that there's a reason why Finn Balor did not return before WrestleMania this year, and instead return the night after WrestleMania. Because the night after WrestleMania is literally a reset in the build-up now to next year's WrestleMania. I've had ever since he returned the night after, I had the firm belief that next year, referring to this year, no, not referring to this year, next year, referring to 2018, is Finn Balor's year. And I'll tell you why. Finn Balor is, a lot of people like to forget, Finn Balor was the first Universal Champion. Even though his reign only lasted for one day, he was the first Universal Champion. Came from NXT, beat the top guy, beat Seth Rollins as well. That sounded like a shot. It's not like a shot because I'm just remembering The Rock. I think was cutting a promo with Stone Cold Steve Austin before like WrestleMania 19, and then it was like in one corner you have the baddest, SOB in the whole WWE, the number one like ass kicker there. No. And then the other corner you have Stone Cold Steve Austin, because it felt like the entire time he was describing Stone Cold Steve Austin. But then it was like, in the other corner, then you have Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, oh, you're referring to himself. Okay, sure. So I just felt like, by saying Finn came in and beat the top guy, and then he also beat Seth Rollins, it was kind of a shot. But it's not that. It wasn't intended to be a shot, no. I was just saying that he beat the top guy in Roman Reigns, the person who's not perceived to be the person who's positioned as the top guy in the WWE. So he came in and beat Roman Reigns to qualify for the chance to fight for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam, and he won it from Seth Rollins clean. So Finn, they pulled the trigger on Finn, so to speak, but they didn't know he was injured in the match. But Finn was put in that position after he came from NXT. So you have to think, because I don't think Vince McMahon would just do that, unless he saw something in Finn Balor, right? Because ultimately Vince McMahon makes the final decisions. So you have to think that he saw something in Balor, and he still does, surely. So he wouldn't be just put in that position just because. Now that Finn is back, don't you think maybe they're going to pull the trigger on him again? In my opinion, like I've said, I believe that next year is the year of Finn Balor. And I think that this entire thing is just leading up to that. I'm just thinking. That's literally just my thought. Finn is quote-unquote trying to get over on Twitter, because the news filtering throughout the entire world is that Finn Balor is not over, according to Vince McMahon. Come on, people. Okay. Seriously, bro, come on. Really? Would Finn literally, even though the people say he was squashed by Kane, quote-unquote, Why would it take 3 chokeslams before? Why would it take 3 chokeslams to beat him if he was squashed by Kane? Just answer me that question, right? Why would he be winning matches again and again? If Vince McMahon doesn't believe in Finn Balor, or doesn't believe Finn Balor's over, why would he defeat AJ Styles? Why would he defeat AJ Styles then? Just think about that for a while. And who's the WWE champion now? Oh, AJ Styles. Okay. What I think these critics are getting, what I think these critics are missing, is the fact that they honestly believe that Vince McMahon does not think Finn Balor is over. That's what I think these critics are missing. They honestly believe that Vince McMahon does not believe that Finn Balor is over. Oh, please. Finn Balor is going to be at WrestleMania next year. And Finn Balor, I'm just thinking to myself, he's going to be going in for a championship. Is he going to win the Royal Rumble? I don't know. I would hope that he does. But these news about, people don't think, Vince McMahon doesn't think that Finn Balor's over. I would not be surprised if that's just not the WWE manipulating the people to thinking that way. That's just my opinion in the end. It always is. This stuff that I say is always my opinion. I'm just a fan. Paul Heyman, alludes to Finn Balor a lot. And I remember there was a time that, Paul saw Finn as a challenger for Brock. Who's to say that's not going to happen? I mean, Brock has the Universal Championship. Who was the first Universal Champion? Finn Balor, right? WWE ran a poll to check who should be Brock Lesnar's next challenger. Who was the overall favorite? Who was the landslide winner? Was Finn Balor. So people obviously want to see it. Do you think that Vince McMahon does not know that? Do you think that Finn will be tweeting out these things that he's not tweeting out, and WWE will just let him get away with it? With getaway being the operative word. I don't know, man. This is just my opinion, and I'm not sure whether it's just the kind of guy that I am, that I'm just seeing past this, maybe, or maybe I'm just, maybe delusional, and what I'm saying is completely just my assumption, and like a very uneducated assumption. I don't know. I'm just a fan. I'm just a guy who notices this. So, Sham, the critics honestly think that Vince McMahon does not believe that Finn Balor is over. They honestly believe this. That Vince McMahon does not think that Finn Balor is good enough, or he's over. Oh God, WrestleMania is how many months away? It's December now, right? WrestleMania is in April, so WrestleMania is like just about 5 months away if you count the whole of December as well. People, please. I'm just thinking. I'm literally. This is just my assumption. Finn is gonna be at WrestleMania, and he's gonna be challenging for a championship one way or another. Yeah, that's just my opinion on the matter. That's. I don't tweet it. I'm just saying it out now to everyone who's listening, and I'm just thinking that Finn is gonna be challenging for a championship. That's all I'm saying. Next year is gonna be Finn Balor's year. That's literally my opinion again, and all the critics whose job is it to constantly how we say it in my language is uqaqa, which is to constantly criticize and tear apart anything and everything that's being done by the WWE. They're literally just riding into this train. Like they've been put into this train, and they think that they control the train, but then they're not. Y'all aren't controlling anything, okay? You're just falling into what I think the WWE wants you to fall into, and it's working. Oh my God, it's working so well. Oh, it's almost laughable. Me, I'm gonna watch regardless. I'm not gonna stop watching because these news are coming out. I avoid these kind of critics simply because of that reason, that people like to criticize so much. And Jesus Christ, I hate well, okay, hate's a very strong word. I strongly dislike, people who constantly just criticize without seeing the good. But hey, that's just me, That's just me. I want to leave it on this note. 2018 is the year of Finn Balor. 2018 will see Finn Balor challenge for a championship. And 2018 will see Finn Balor be at WrestleMania. Now, what would be amazing is all three of those things happening at the exact same time in the exact same place. And I'll just leave it at that.